They charge them shit out to the gangs from London, cheap burger, and they all spoke people. Yes, I had such a headache. You wouldn't believe it. Yeah, it's been upon me, yeah. Well, no, he's breathing it in. Yeah. It's not a bomb. Well, it's nice. It's like a bit of weed, but it's the building. Oh, yeah, some, business people, what they did, it was next week to the chemist. And apparently the chemist told me that they were in there one day and they saw a face looking at me. What they'd done, they cut a hole in the wall. Little terrace. They were looking so they could get into the shop. They saw his face.
Hello everyone. The meeting's about to start. Please put members and officers in physical attendance with electronic devices muted to avoid feedback. Please could any remote participant keep their cameras and microphones off unless they wish to speak, and ideally not to use the camera facilities at all, as this can affect the quality of the meeting. The meeting may be recorded and data collected during the recording of the meeting will be retained in accordance with the Council's data retention policies. The recording of the meeting may be added to the Council website. Members accessing the meeting remotely should use their SBC or KCC laptops to participate virtually. If you join using the link on the website or on a mobile and a tablet device, it is not always possible to identify you, and you may not be recorded in a remote attendance. I wish to welcome everyone to the Audit Committee meeting, including any visiting members attending remotely and members of the public. The following staff are in attendance in the Council chamber or remotely: Director of Resources, Lisa Fillery, Interim Head of Audit Partnership, Alison Blake, Interim Head of Audit Partnership, Andrew Townsend, Interim Audit Manager, Julie Hetherington, Domestic Services, Democratic Services, Philippa Davis and Billy Atway. Darren Wells and Richard Nalcarco from Grant Fulton are in attendance remotely. Emergency evacuation procedure. There are no scheduled tests for fire alarms, and if the alarm does sound, please leave the building quickly using the doors signed as fire escapes, and assemble in the car park in front of the building await instructions. If there is anyone in attendance that might require assistance in evacuating the building, please make themselves known. Item 2, apologies for absence and confirmation of substitutes. Are there any apologies for absence or substitutes?
Thank you, Chair. Apologies have been received from Councillor Anne Hampshire, who is substituted by Councillor Cameron Beard, and also from Councillor Mike Henderson, and Councillor Denise Knight, who is on the committee, is attending remotely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 3. Do members approve the minutes of the meeting held on the 9th of March 2020, minutes numbers 666 to 670. and the 18th of May 2022, minutes numbers 35, 36, as correct to records. Thank you. Any declarations of interest? Thank you. All items on the agenda are Part B reports for decision by the Audit Committee. Item 5, Grant Fulton Audit Plan 2021-22. Please could Darren Wells or Richard McGrady for Grant Fulton introduce their reports.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Richmond Nyako. I'm one of the managers at GT. We'll assume that the papers has been read by members. The major highlights are the risks for the year. This year we have 5 risks: the revenue cycle, management override of controls, valuation of land and buildings and investment property, valuation of pension fund net liability, error in expenditure recognition. These risks are the same as what we had in the prior year. The other highlight will be on the fees. This year the fees is 71,269 as against last year, which was 69,769. The major reason for the increase is because of further work which we need to do on IFRS 16 disclosure work. At this point, we are happy to take questions from members.
Thank you. Any members got any questions? No, thank you. We've got no questions.
Thank you.
Please can I have a proposer and seconder for the recommendation?
Proposed, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Simon Clark, and the seconder, Councillor Peter MacDonald. Please can I have a show of hands to vote for the recommendation? Unanimously carried. Thank you. Item 6, risk management framework. Please could Alison introduce the report?
Thank you, Chair. So members present in March will remember that the annual risk management report included the key changes that would be proposed to the new risk management framework. Now the new constitution has been agreed, this paper sets out the revised risk management framework for your agreement. The consultation on the new framework took place with SMT in October-November last year, and the new risk management framework reflects changes in management and governance structures, as well as enhancing processes to ensure that they remain fit for purpose. The key changes include updated impact and likelihood scoring, a revised risk management appetite statement, and changes in how risk management information is reported to reflect the new committee structure. Once the framework is agreed, the corporate and operational risks can be reviewed and updated to reflect the changes in risk scoring, and this work will go alongside the rollout of our risk management software, JCAD, and is scheduled for August to September, October time. So members are asked to agree the revised risk management framework. Happy to take any questions.
Any members got any questions? No? Thank you very much. Well, we proceed to the vote. Could I have a proposal?
Proposed, Chair.
I'll take Peter MacDonald's proposal.
Second.
Councillor Simon Clark seconded. Could I have a show of hands, please? Unanimous. Thank you. Right. Item 7. Audit Committee Annual Report 2021-22.
Sorry, Chairman, could you put your mic on?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I apologise. Alison, do you want to introduce the report?
Thank you, Chair. So this report summarises how the Audit Committee has fulfilled its duties during 2021-22. It provides assurance that the Audit Committee has monitored and addressed issues of governance, risk management and internal control. One update to the report, I think there's a tabled paper, is to note that the Appendix A included in our report includes the old terms of reference, my apologies for that, and the tabled paper reflects the revised terms of reference which are in the new constitution. There might be a further minor amendment to those terms of reference in the coming months to reflect that the audit plan is a risk-based audit plan, not a 3-year strategy, but the tabled paper reflects the terms of reference as they should be. A final thing to note is that for 22-23 we've got a programme of training that will be available to all Audit Committee members, which started this evening, and that is open to not only Audit Committee members but to all members who are interested in attending, to support particularly Audit Committee in fulfilling your functions. I'm happy to take any questions, but Audit Committee is asked to agree this report and the Chairman of the Audit Committee to present it to full council.
Any questions by members? No, thank you. Could I have a proposal, please? Councillor Pete Hill, a seconder. Councillor Peter Marchington. Could we have a show of hands, please? Unanimously carried. Thank you. Item 8, Annual Governance Statement 2021-22. Could Lisa introduce the report, please? Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the annual governance statement for last financial year that we are required to produce as a local authority on an annual basis. It forms part of the statement of accounts for the final publication, but this element of it has been completed, and so we're bringing it to this committee in advance of it coming again in November, but hopefully with no changes. So we are asking you to review and endorse the statement, and so that it can be included in the accounts. Once it's approved, it needs to be signed by the leader and the chief exec of the authority. And the report looks back over what we've done over the previous financial year and how we have complied with our own governance arrangements, and looks ahead to areas that we need to consider for next year. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions, members? No, thank you. Could I have a proposer? Councillor Peter Marchington, a seconder. Councillor Simon Clark, thank you.
We'll all have a turn.
Could I have a show of hands, please? Right, unanimously on the recommendation, thank you. Right. Item number 9, Annual Treasury Management Report 2020-22. Could Lisa introduce the report? Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the out-term report for our Treasury Management Service, which shows our position at the year end for our capital financing, our external borrowing, where we have that borrowing placed, where we have our investments placed within our money market funds, which we hold for liquidity purposes, and it shows compliance with our prudential indicators. I'm happy to take any questions.
Councillor Peter MacDonald.
Yeah, I'm probably in the wrong place, but I looked at the risks that obviously the pension fund. Is this actually, excuse my ignorance, but is it with KCC or something?
Yes, we're part of the local government pension scheme. We're part of the Kent element of that, so they manage and run all of the pension scheme. We don't have anything to do with that.
Councillor Cameron Burt.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. The two loans at 2.4, Derbyshire County Council and London Borough of Islington, is that the Public Works loan bond?
No, this is short-term borrowing that we do with other local authorities. On the short-term nature of this, we do this quite a lot. They offer a much more competitive rate, and as long as they are within our counterparty lists, then that's the option that we do for the short-term borrowing requirements.
Any more questions? Thank you. Could I have a proposer for recommendation 1 of the report, and the seconder, proposer Simon Clark, a seconder Councillor Peter Neal. Show of hands on recommendation 1. Unanimously carried. Recommendation 2, could I have a proposer? Councillor Simon Clark, seconder Councillor Peter Marchington. You're both up at the same time. So, hands up. That's unanimous. Thank you very much. And we go on to item 10, Annual Internal Audit Report and Opinion 2021-22. Could I ask Andrew to introduce the report, please?
Thank you, Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Just to clarify the situation, Ali is now your interim head of audit, so I'm very much delighted to present this report, but I think it's very much going to be a joint exercise if there are any questions. We're required, you're required to have internal audit, and internal audit's required to provide an annual report which includes an opinion statement which is set out in this report. You'll notice as well the opinion statement also assists in forming the annual governance statement, which members have just seen at an earlier item. Your opinion statement is effectively clear, and the rest of the report is taking you through how Mid-Kent Audit work through the year to get through the work. And I think probably the best thing is to pass over to members for questions.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Any questions, any members? No questions. Could I have a proposal for recommendation 1 of the report? Councillor Peter Neal proposed, and seconder Councillor Peter Marchington. Have a vote, please. Unanimous, thank you very much. And recommendation 2, proposer Simon Clark and seconder Councillor Peter MacDonald. Could I have a show of hands, please? Unanimous.
Before you jump in and say close the meeting, Mr. Chairman, can I move a vote of thanks to Phil Wilson as he is leaving us? And I think he's been an integral part of this committee and a good friend to most of us.
Yes, totally agree with that. Thank you, Cameron. And on behalf of the committee, we do thank him for all the help he's been over the years, and he will be missed. But he's retired, so he's a happy man.
He's got another job.
I know he's got another job, but it could be like retiring after working here.
He might come back.
Something's as good as the best.
Anyway, I thank all members for attending, and I call the meeting to a close at 19:17. Thank you. I didn't think the rest of it, did I?
2 minutes too long, Mr. Chair.